Hi, welcome to the Memphis Flyer podcast. I'm Chris McCoy.
And I'm Rebecca Cadenhead, the youth reporter with MLK 50, and I'm also a core member with Report for America.
She has the cover story in the Memphis Flyer this week. But first, I want to talk about you because you just recently moved to Memphis, didn't you?
I did. I moved here almost exactly a year ago from New York.
Oh, wow. Are you a native of New York?
I am. I grew up in Westchester, which is just north of the city.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
had a roommate from Westchester.
Oh, really?
Yes, a long
There
time
are
ago.
a lot of us around, I think.
How did you get into journalism?
Um, well, in college, honestly, I joined the school newspaper just for fun. Um, I thought I was going to be a doctor, actually, and I thought that it would just be like a break from my classes to do it, but then I ended up spending more time on the newspaper than I did on my classes. So I decided to like fully make the switch to journalism. And now this is my first full year of being a professional reporter.
So you're with Report for America?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that program?
Yeah, so Report for America is a national program. It was created to kind of address the crisis in local news by placing early career journalists in local newsrooms across America. So it's a fellowship. It's a 2 to 3 year fellowship, depending on how long you want to stay. Um, and I've been placed here with MLK 50, which I feel super grateful and lucky for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Flyer has cooperated with MLK 50 quite a bit in the last few years. You know, Wendy Thomas, who founded MLK 50, is a great friend of ours. We did a lot of work during the last mayoral election, and I think we got the county election next year, so I'm sure we're gonna try to do some more of that
Yeah, that'll
too.
be great.
But I also love when we're able to bring MLK 50 content and stories and put them in print in the
Thank you.
Flyer too, because I think it's a really good synergy between we have distribution and y'all have the time and the resources to go really in depth on a lot of stories, which, you're talking about the crisis of local news. That's a very real thing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of times we don't have the resources that we used to have to cover things. And honestly, I think a lot of the problems that we're seeing in America right now are due to not enough local news coverage.
Right.
You know?
I completely agree with you. Yeah. I think that not enough people know what's happening um, in their city councils, in local government, because there aren't enough local news reporters anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as a result, it's very hard to hold people accountable.
Yeah, well, there have been studies that like the decline of local news, like communities that lose their local newspaper, like they have a higher rate of corruption, of public corruption.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and it's not just public corruption either. Like other people think they can get away with stuff.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So your cover this week is about gun violence, which has historically been a giant problem in Memphis. And
Right.
you're new to Memphis, but one of my favorite pieces of trivia about Memphis is the very first time Memphis was ever mentioned in a newspaper of any kind was the New York Times, and it was very soon after the city had been founded. And basically, what the New York Times had to say, one of the sentences was literally like, um, if you feel suicidal, just go for a walk
Oh
downtown
my gosh.
and somebody will take care of it for you. So there's been a problem with us for a long
That is so
time.
funny and so messed up that they said that.
It was like 1830. So
Yeah, yeah.
not that the Times wouldn't do that today, because they totally would.
No, they totally would.
But anyway, so you've been here for about a year, right?
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting that because you have like this outsider's perspective, like
Yeah.
unlike us folks who've been marinating in this city for
Right.
quite a bit. What do you think about Memphis?
I love Memphis. I think it's such a unique place. I've never lived in a place like this before. Not that I've lived in that many places. But the people are super friendly compared to what I've been used to in New York. But like they genuinely are kind and friendly. Like it's not just, an act, which I really appreciate. Yeah, people are super welcoming. The food is great.
Yes, we hope.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you for being an objective outsider and saying our food is great.
It is. It really is. Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised. Not that I like expected anything else from a southern city, to be honest. But yeah, the food is great. The people are great. The parks are beautiful. I think the parks have been my favorite part of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I've really enjoyed spending time in the parks. Like, obviously, Memphis has a lot of challenges too. Um, I don't know. That's been like a focus of my reporting is kind of digging into why those challenges exist. Um, and the challenges that do exist, like if they are unique to Memphis, if they're representative of a national picture, and what can be done to address them.
Mm-hmm. Well, so tell us about your story this week.
Yeah, so I wrote a story about how gun violence has impacted Memphis youth, particularly how a law colloquially called guns in trunks, which allows car owners in Tennessee to store guns in their cars, has impacted the number of children in Memphis who have been shot each year since the law was passed. Um, and basically, I found through talking to a bunch of doctors that like there's been a real significant increase in the number of children who have been shot and also the number of children who have been killed since the law was passed. So the article is about that, and it's a little bit about why that might be the case as well.
So, yeah, as one of your interviewees mentioned, we have a perfect storm here in Memphis. We have a lot of guns, thanks to lax gun laws. We have a lot of poverty, and we have like a lot of generational trauma,
Right.
too. And we've seen it. Everybody knows that we have a problem with gun violence here, but
Right.
nobody seems to want to do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's very it's been a long problem for a long time. And one statistic that I read in your story was that something like 70% and I could not believe this was true. 70% of Le Bonheur's children's patients are gunshot wound victims.
Oh, I think that statistic was 70% of gunshot wound patients were shot intentionally.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was particularly shocking to me because I had honestly assumed that, like, I don't know, people wouldn't shoot kids. Or at least they wouldn't shoot them intentionally. I was like, well, you hear all of these stories in the national news about kids shooting themselves accidentally because their parent was like super irresponsible with the way they were storing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like kind of what's happening here, but it is mostly the case that kids are being shot intentionally, which was really disturbing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a trend that is on the rise in Memphis.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of that was drive-bys. Right?
Yeah, a lot of it is drive-bys. Yeah, a lot of it is car related, actually, in general.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either drive-bys or road rage or like a parking dispute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like we can't, the guns and trunks thing is like individual businesses can say you can't bring a gun in here, right? So people will leave their guns in the cars,
Right.
and then somebody will break into their car
Right.
to steal the guns. And because as you also note in the story, most of this violence happens with stolen guns.
Right,
you know.
exactly.
And car break-ins have been a big problem in this town. Believe me, because my last car, my beloved Honda Civic, was broken into 39 times.
What?
Yes. 39 times. Cops never did anything. Never once.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I stopped locking it after the window was broken like 7 or 8 times.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it's been all kinds of stuff. But see, that's the problem. And I'm like, at some point you got to be like, there's no gun in this car, dude.
Right. Right.
Exactly. One of my big ideas is a sticker with a no guns symbol. It says no gun in car. Like,
yeah.
Don't break into this car.
Yeah, to the sticker thing, I'm not really sure if I should be saying this on camera, but I was talking to a public
defender. It's the flyer. You can say anything. We don't give a shit. Okay. You can cuss. It's fine. Go for it.
Perfect. Sorry,
Mom. Sorry.
Because my mom is going to watch this.
Sorry, her mom. What's your mom's name?
Jen.
Sorry, Jen. It's my fault. I made her do it. Okay?
But yeah, to your point about stickers, actually that is a thing. I was talking to a defense attorney recently who represents kids who have been stealing guns out of cars.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like kind of asking him about what these kids were telling him about why they were stealing guns out of cars. And he told me that kids who steal guns out of cars intentionally target cars with Trump stickers on them because they know that they're gonna have guns in the
They
car.
assume.
Yeah.
See, that's what my new car, which has not, knock on wood, been broken into yet, has a little sticker that the last owner put on it that was it's the little B, and it says "Be kind." And so it hasn't
Mm-hmm.
been broken into yet because I was like, yeah, nobody with the "Be
Yeah,
kind"
you
sticker
need
is
like
gonna
the
like it.
coexist sign
Yeah.
too. Like,
Yes, exactly. So peaceful stickers is what you're looking
right,
for.
right.
Peaceful stickers. Well, so thanks for taking some time with us
Yeah.
this morning, and thank you for writing this. This is in on the cover story, the cover of the Memphis Flyer. We've got 300 boxes all around the city where you can pick up a physical copy, and we love the physical copies. Uh, uh, or you go to memphisflyer.com and check that out, or you can go to mlk50.com. And if you're not going regularly to mlk50.com, you are missing out on a lot of really important stories. You know, we have like the toy store over here, right? We have all kinds of crazy frivolous stuff. It's not frivolous, it's extremely important, but it's crazy stuff. But y'all are taking the time, doing the research, and bringing real serious journalism. And so that's why I'm really happy that we're able to partner with you, like I
Thank you so
said.
much.
So, anyways, check it out this week. There's so much more in the paper, which you can find it online and in the boxes. So we will see you next week on the Memphis Flyer podcast. Thank you.